My feelings are valid, but I think that I can get really overwhelmed really easily. I am prone to just, a good amount of anxiety and just being extremely overwhelmed and kind of taking everything too seriously sometimes. So I like to just step away sometimes and just be like, this is okay. I'm allowed to feel this way. It's valid. I'm just going to take a deep breath and I'm not going to react. And then I'm going to go back out there and I'm going to be fine.
That's a great habit.
Sometimes I do that.
I love that. I love how easy it is. No one needs to learn a new meditation practice
right.
or a new thing.
Sometimes
that's
it's
so
just as simple as that.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. I love that. One of the things that, which really touched my heart when I saw this, because I think when things happen in culture and everyone talks about it, but sometimes you're like, okay, well, I can tell that there's a real connection here. Like when you lost Virgil, right? Like that, when I saw your message and what you spoke about it, I was like, wow, this is someone who had a really deep connection with this individual. And going through grief is really, really tough. Like, people who lose, and I lost two really close people to me during the pandemic.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. One was my spiritual teacher since I was 12 years old, and he died of stage 4 brain cancer, and I hadn't seen him during the pandemic. I couldn't go back for his, because that was still when it was like tight lockdown. So I couldn't go back for his funeral. And, he'd been the person who'd been such a key piece in my life. Wow. And then the other person pretty much in the same year was my best friend as a monk. So he was still a monk.
Wow.
And he happened to get cancer and he passed away during the pandemic. I couldn't see him either. And he was my age. And so to lose someone that was, and he was still there. And so, And so when I saw your wonderful tribute to Virgil as well, I was like, how do you process something like that when, it's not only industry friends, but genuine friendship beyond that? And just
well, my first thought here is, why is it always the best people? Like, why is it always these people that are just such balls of light in everyone's life? It's like, so you just think about it and you're like, this is so unfair, and you're going through every emotion. And to be honest, it was really shocking because not everyone knew what he was going through and suffering from. So it was really shocking. I'll never forget the day I found out, and it just absolutely obviously breaks your heart. And you can't help but be like, oh my God, did I ever say enough? Did I ever tell him enough? It's really interesting to share that feeling with so many people.
Yeah.